All right, everyone. So this is going to be a brief tutorial on how to create a bar graph using sheets. I have some data here that's been pulled aside from the original sheet that was shared with everyone. And yeah, so let's get started. So it's pretty simple to create a bar graph. The reason you would create a bar graph is if you want to show um, one, for example, one parameter at that shows up at different locations. So, for example, you can highlight uh, your sample locations here. So you have all of these different sample locations. They were all taken on the same day and at different times, but they're fairly close together. So this is a really good candidate for having a bar graph. So let's say, for example, you want to plot, let's pick something other than salinity and dissolved oxygen. So let's say you want to plot the biological oxygen demand. That's what BOD is. So very briefly, BOD just means how much oxygen has been consumed by the bacteria that's in water. So the lower the BOD, the less amount of microorganisms. The higher the BOD, the more the microorganisms. So to highlight this entire column, especially if you already have another column highlighted, press and hold down the control button and then either double click and hold or double tap and drag your finger down your mouse pad, and there you have two columns that are highlighted, both Oakwood column, which is the L column, and A. As always, there's usually multiple ways to access the charts and any other feature. You can either go to this picture here where it's a picture of a bar graph, so you can insert chart. You could also go to insert and chart is right here. So let's select chart. And what's nice about Sheets is it does try to guess what kind of bar graph or what kind of graph you need. So in this case, it guessed correctly that I do want a bar graph. Again, you can do this multiple ways. If you want to, let's say, edit your title, you can double tap or double click the title, and you can either edit it within the title itself. So just to show, demonstrate, I can actually type in here the title of my bar graph. I can also do it here in this text box if I want to. If I want to center it, which I usually like to do, I can do it right there. I can change the title color if I want to. Let's say I want to have it be super blue. I want to make it in bold, etc. This is where you get to play with the kind of graph, the way you want your graph to look. Now, you can do the same thing for your other labels. So again, you can double tap, and again, it shows you on this side all the things you can do with it. Same thing here with sample location. And finally, as well as your actual sample locations here. A couple other things, you can also customize either all of the columns or each column. So let's say, for example, I want to change the color of these columns and make it a brownish red color. There you go. Now you have a brownish red color. If you want to change a single column, what you do is you have to just scroll down a little bit. You'll see Format Data Point. Tap the add, and then open up this box. It's not the best for showing the entire thing, but you'll just have to click and guess. So I'll just pick this one. Here we go. We have E5, so most likely it'll be one of these two E5s or both. Click OK, and then you can change the color. So let's make it strikingly different, and let's do green. And now you have changed the color of this column here. If you want to remove it, you change your mind, just delete it right here. The last thing is you can add data labels. Well, actually, second to last thing. You just you check this box off, and you can have your data labels here. You can change, of course, the location of those labels. Some examples, so this is under position. Some examples include centering your labels, having them at the top, having them at the bottom, and even having them above your actual bar graph. Or you don't have to have data labels. If you don't have data labels, I do recommend that you format your grid lines to make it clearer as far as the reading. So what you want to do is you want, sorry, that's not grid lines. That is the horizontal axis. There we go, grid lines. Um, you just go to major and you can choose the number of horizontal lines that you want. So currently there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 4. So let's say you want to double that to 8. Now you have from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, from 0 to 3.5. And you can even change the color if you want to. I'm just going to leave it gray. You can add minor grid lines. This might start to get messy, but what this does is you tell it how many grid lines you want per major line. So let's say I just want one per group of major lines. There you go. Now you have one single minor line in between two major lines. So this is just a small sample of what you can do with your bar graph. It's up to you how you display it, but again, it's about making sure that it's readable for other people, especially when you're giving your presentation.